Hello and good afternoon, everybody. I'm Aisha from Montessori Association Malaysia here, and very happy to welcome all of you. Thank you for spending your Saturday afternoon with us today. Excuse my background. I'm in a friend's house, and quite an illustrious life he has had. So excuse all the color. And back to Montessori Association Malaysia. We are back here with our monthly talks with our special guests. We've had quite a few for the past the past of this year and part of last year as well, and I'm very grateful to all of them. And today we have someone, Alhamdulillah, probably deserving of much accolades. We have Celeste Wong here, and I've known Celeste for quite a while. Uh, sharing our Montessori journey together for a few years, and it's nice to see how our friends develop professionally, personally, and all that. So, Celeste, let me tell you a little bit about Celeste. She is the head of Sunbear Montessori School. She has knowledge and passion for Montessori education, as she believes is the key to aid children's life, to aid life. She holds a degree in finance and went on to get a diploma in Montessori for the CASA preschool age 3 to 6, and also has a certification in Montessori for 0 to 3, for the infants and toddlers. And as if that's not enough, Celeste also has a diploma in child psychology and learning difficulties, and is currently pursuing her master degree in early childhood education. So I think with just that, the context clues are there. You can be rest assured that we will have a very, very interesting talk to come. So without further ado, let me bring Celeste on. Hello,
Hi,
Celeste. How
hi
are
Aisha.
you?
Yeah,
How are
great,
you?
great.
Are you okay? That's good.
Mhm.
Okay. So basically, we have this talk here now, and we would like to welcome you and thank you very much for coming on, being spotting about this. And I know you've gone through quite a bit in getting your your Montessori together and all that. And I think I've known you since probably when you just completed your studies in Montessori, and that's what quite a while ago. And since then, you've gone on from strength to strength to study more and started
Mm-mm.
not only a school, but you also started a family, right? So, and your school Sunday Montessori, and you have a young toddler with you right now, and
And babies.
I think yes, your babies, and you look after them as well. And you just need to know, it's like you're fresh from the oven, so to speak. You did a
Yeah.
degree in finance. It's very helpful, I'm sure. Right, and then and both for the family and the business, and then you've got some great knowledge to help you along with your becoming a mother, parenting to many others in your school as well. And so it'll be very interesting to know what you managed to acquire just very recently in your diploma, and then your diploma in psychology, which is very Montessori is very psychology based, as you know. And of course, we want to include all children with children learning difficulties and all that, or challenges. And then, as if it's not enough, you're going on to want more and more. It's like the more you do, the more you want to know, right? It's a little bit like the Montessori journey itself. It's so
Definitely.
nebulous. Don't know where it'll take you, but it's wonderful to hear how you're progressing. And what a treat it
Mm.
would be for us now to be able to hear you, what you've been doing for the past 2 years or so with all this knowledge in mind. Okay,
Sure.
so without further
Right.
ado, I think Saturday afternoon, as usual, internet challenges and all. Um, Celeste is currently frozen on my screen. I don't know if she's frozen on your screen, or she might be.
I'm
She
good.
might.
I'm good. I mean, like, I can hear what you say, but just that the screen is not so smooth. Hi, Aisha. Alright, sorry everyone, but then I need to wait for one Aisha to come back, and just give me 1 second. Alright, so okay, so Puan Aisha suggested us to try it again. I'm so sorry, perhaps you need to join the link and click on the link and join us back. And I'm going to leave this studio and yeah.
Hi, we're back. So I don't know how much is missed. It says here the recording had been going on for a while. I'm not sure how much you missed or anything, but well, we're well into almost 8 minutes of the broadcast. And anyway, I think if anybody wants to know more about Celeste, look up Sunbear Montessori School. Okay, look up all her posts. It will deny the view that we say all about Celeste knowing her stuff, okay, having gone through so much and with her studies as well as her experiences with the family and her school. So let's just, before anything happens, with the great gods of internet, hopefully and online will work well.
So
We'll all say a prayer. And yeah, I was just telling you, Celeste, it goes, this happens. And as mothers, as leaders, as CEOs of companies, your own company, we just have to keep calm, and things will work. Okay, so I'll just go backstage and let you lead the show, Celeste. And you need me, I'll be here. Okay, let's just put you on.
Sure. All right. Sure. All right. Thank you, Aisha, for having me today, and thank you to our parents and
just a few minutes.
Maybe,
it's coming up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
The show is all yours.
Okay, thanks for everyone for joining us today. And I'm Celeste, and I have one son, mother of one, and he's currently 20 months. And today I'm going to share with you, what I have been put through in these past 20 months. And basically it's more in Montessori way. And I hope that this sharing will be like only me talking. So if let's say you have any questions or you have any comments, please comment. You can sign in the Google and then you can comment down there. And one actually will bring the question up to me and I will try to answer it. All right. So let's start it. I'm not sure that if you heard anyone saying that if you want to challenge our friendship, let's go travel with them. Okay, so because through the traveling, you can see a lot of things from your friends and see whether you can work together and can you basically tolerate with each other, right? And to me, if you want to challenge your marriage, let's get a baby. Okay, so basically this is a very fun topic. Perhaps one actually you can consider to have one later on because for me, I can see a lot of parents dealing with their babies, especially the new moms and new dad. They have lots of emotions and they don't really know how to handle babies, or either they just want to send to the granny or the nanny to take care of babies and they just hands off. And I don't feel this is right. So yeah, okay. So this is the topic that I'm going to share with you. I will share with you some tips that what I've gone through because like what I have said, I've studied a lot, but then when coming to practice, like when we putting everything in practice, it's so different. It's totally different story. All right. So what happened in past 20 months? Okay, my son has become toddler from an infant now. And since baby, because I have studied so much, I have known so much of things, theory and the way to teach children. Okay, so every time, every day, I eagerly want him to grow faster. All right, so I perhaps will just buy a toy that's supposed for 3 years old when he was not even 1 year old. Okay, I already bought everything to my house, and I bought lots of books, and of course, every week I would check out like the cards that the cards that those people recommended, like what are the toys for baby, the best toys for baby, the best books for babies to read. So yeah, I keep on checking out and keep buying things, right? But I feel that it's not necessary, and I think I have wasted lots of money on this, right? So let's share with you more so that you can save a bit of your pocket, especially when you are getting your second baby or you have one newborn baby is coming on the way, right? Okay, so first thing first, I would like to give you an introduction about my background. So I started home tuition when I was studying in university. Then I teach in tuition center, and then I lowered down. I went to kindergarten and infant care center. And yeah, so the reason why simply because I feel that the foundation, the foundation and the first formative years is so important for one's life. Okay, because when I gave tuition, I can see that the children are very weak in the foundation. So when I give tuition, I would think that why not this child have a stronger foundation before they go to primary or go to secondary school. So that's why I went to kindergarten and find out what's happening. What's happening in this kindergarten stage. Okay, the teachers did a great job. Did the teacher do their part? Why the children are not learning anything even after they complete kindergarten, after they graduated? So I want to find out. So I even went to infant care center to take care of babies. So yeah, this is how I got my certificates and all the diploma or degree. Okay, and basically, when I started to teach kindergarten, I heard of the name of Montessori. Yeah, and this is basically from a gossip. Okay, gossip from parents that she just told me that you know what, Celeste, because I was tutoring her son when he was primary school. So I asked, oh, how come your son has so strong foundation? Her basic everything, her learning, his learning was so good. So when I teach, very easy to teach, and he can achieve a higher level of in academic. So I asked her, how did you make it? So she told me that Celeste, Montessori. She told me Montessori. That was like Montessori. What's Montessori? Who was that? Because I've never heard of this name before. So after she told me that which Montessori school she went, so I started to find out, and I started to pick up the course. I started to know people from Montessori background, and I started visit Montessori school. One of the school was Aisha, which is our president of Montessori Association in Malaysia. Right. So when I visited her school, I was so shocked and I was so impressed because I've never imagined that in a classroom there are children from 3 years old up to 15 years old. How can they study in one school? How they can study in one classroom without teachers' guidance? The teachers were just 2 or 3 teachers, okay, but the children are doing their thing. They are working on the material. So I was so impressed, right? Until I got my certificate and I know the philosophy behind this education and methodology. Okay, so yeah, this is my school. The children, when they come in, they will tidy up their bags, they will get ready for their shower, and then they will, because in Montessori classroom, this is mixed age group, and this is what we call vertical grouping. So we have at least 3 years difference. Okay, the age must be 3 year difference or more in the classroom. Okay, and the purpose is more about for older children, they can take care of younger children. Okay, and the younger children can learn better from the older children, and they don't disturb people. Okay, that's why even though you can see 20 students in class, only 2 teachers there, but they're still very quiet doing their work. Right? Yeah. Okay. So before I continue, can I share any questions from the audience? Okay. I'm going to share my next slide with you. But before this, I would just want to check out any questions from you guys. Oopsie. Hi, Aisha. Are you there, Aisha? All right. Okay. So, right. So let me share my screen. Okay. Before Aisha is back, so let me share my screen. Right. So here we go. So until I become mother, okay, I always tell myself that I always go through the slides or go through the notes that I have studied before. And this is a quote is very powerful and always hold me back from buying things or hold me back from rushing my kid to grow further. Okay, so the choice ends out with unknown powers, which can guide us to a radiant future.
Are you there, Celeste?
Yes,
Okay, I
Aisha,
think we're
you're
having
back.
internet problems here, but you just stay with us. All right, we're back. Okay, so can you hear me, Celeste?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll put the thing back on. I think it's just Saturday afternoon. Everybody's probably congestion is there with the internet, but we will just go on. Okay. So I think maybe if you carry on with your talk until the end, Celeste, and then we'll take the questions later or something like that. Okay.
Sure.
All
right.
I'll put
So I'll share my screen then. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, okay.
I'll share my screen instead.
Yeah. Is it there? Can you see it? It should be on now.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So I'll just
Can
remove
you share?
myself.
Can you see my screen?
Yes. We're
Yes.
on the
Okay.
slide that says they don't disturb others. That's the one, right?
All right. Sure.
Okay, carry on.
Okay. So thank you, Aisha. So all right. So because of what Dr. Maria Montessori has said, okay, I know that is an inner drive. Okay, what we say is like an inner picture that every child has to. Okay, every child has, and they are going to use this inner drive to explore and be more independent. So, what I would advise and always share with my parents is, if a child moves too quickly, okay, if a child moves too quickly and too many things are done for them, they can become very passive in learning in the future, and they're gonna miss a lot of little joys in their life. Okay, so that's why I'm so into Montessori education because I can see children develop concentration and they can so focus when they are doing work in the classroom. All right. So let's start flashing back. When I start to prepare this slide, I was like flashing back like what I have gone through in these past 20 months. Okay. So from 0 to 2 months, basically, I would say that you need to have lots of bondings with your children. Okay, instead of you buying things or materials or toys for them, and I guess most of parents they will start to research those branded pacifier, branded toys, branded swaddles, branded shit for the kids. But instead, I think the bonding matters the most. Yeah? And I would suggest the things that you need to have for your babies is a black and white postal card and a Montessori mobile. This is so useful. Okay, and basically, the children are not going to use the mobile when they already go to 4 or 5 months old. So basically, the mobile you need to start to prepare when the child, even before the child was born. Yeah, I started to knead the bowl and I prepared the mobile myself. Okay, so right, right. So it's not necessary that the mom can do the job. The father can do the job as well. Okay, so yeah, right. And in the beginning, 0 to 2 months.
Sorry, Celeste.
Okay,
I'm not so
yeah.
sure if I'm not so sure if you meant to move your slides along. Did you move your slides along, or is it still on the
I did.
same one?
I did.
Oh, okay. So I think why don't you stop sharing for a while and start again? Try again because it didn't move. Not on our screen anyway.
Oh, is it?
It's still on the don't disturb others, because you're talking about mobiles, right? Maybe
Yeah,
you
that's
might have
right.
had some.
The
Yeah,
picture.
just stop
Yeah.
sharing. Yeah,
Okay, let
you
me
stop
try.
sharing, then and
Alright.
share again.
Okay,
Okay,
let me try.
it's just like a simple informal chat. Yeah.
Just give
Okay,
me
I'm
1
just
minute.
going.
I'll try to
No
bring
problem.
the slide
Your
up.
time.
Okay. Okay, after symbiotic period.
I wonder whether I'll try and get rid. Let me try and remove your slides for the moment first. Okay, hold on. Yeah.
Sure.
No, I can't kick you. No, I can't. I can't remove your slides. I don't have the option to do that. So it's like matter of you
Okay,
stopping it.
Let me try it. Okay. Give me 1 second. So sorry, perhaps you.
Okay, this just is a suggestion. So let me take the limelight for a while. Why didn't you exit? Exit,
Yeah.
right? Just leave the
Yes.
studio
Let me
and then
try.
join again.
Yeah.
I think that's the best.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. Okay, so we're back to me. Yeah, we'll wait for Celeste to join us again with the challenges of the internet. This is how NGO works, right? We call it no gaji organization. It's all our own resources. We do what we can. Okay, all right. Celeste is back now. I was just saying that we don't have many resources. This is the most we can do. Thank goodness there's some free resources for us to be able to access and outreach and all that. So let's try your slides again, shall we?
Yeah, but I think there's some problem that I need to share my slides here. Let me see. A to A.
In the meantime, if people have got some questions, please do chat on the YouTube chat over there. Okay, then we can read them out, or some of you might need some time first to reflect upon what Celeste has to say before coming out with questions. You can always post it on the YouTube channel anytime, and hopefully we'll come to you with the responses. Okay. Yeah. So so far, Celeste was talking about this inner drive, right? This inner drive, and yes, this brings me back years because my children are all grown up, of course, and I went through this journey which Celeste did when I started my family. And honestly, it's latent, it's intangible, right? This drive of the children, and you want to see it in your children because it's something that naturally happens. The questions, the touching, the this and that, and all that. It's like you can't quite say to the children, "Don't touch," don't put in your mouth, don't all that. But this is how they are naturally, inclined. So if you're asking them, "Don't play," it's a bit weird and odd because children play. That's all they do. So this inner drive, if anything, it's unmistakable. You can feel it, and it's no point trying to fight it or go against it, so on and so forth. Right. Okay. I think I've got something here. Let me try, Celeste.
Yeah.
Okay. Coming on soon, hopefully. In a few minutes. Yes. This is it. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
this is the mobile. All right.
Yes, let's pick up.
Okay, so basically the babies are just lying down on the floor bed. Okay, in Montessori needle classroom, we don't encourage cots because we want the children to move freely in the environment. So that's why you can see in Montessori classroom they always have floor bed. Okay, and for younger babies they will be giving the mobile. And what you can observe is the babies actually get attracted to the mobile, and they will observe until they're tired, and they will just sleep by their own. Okay, so that's why a lot of parents say that, oh, my child keep crying and she wants me to cuddle, she wants me to carry. But what I will always tell parents is that's because you don't have the age appropriate material for them, right? So yeah, it's pretty important that you need to have this at home for young babies, for the newborn. Okay, and what I want to share is symbiosis. Okay, symbiosis is that period after birth, and usually it's 6 to before 6 to sorry, after the 6 to 8 weeks after the child is born, and this is not only valuable for the first child in the family, but with the addition of every family member. So that's why if you are having one kid and you are going to have the second kid, it's very important that you need to take note. And I would say that, okay, what we need to know about symbiotic period. All right. So I guess most of you study symbiotic relationships before in your biology class in your high school. Yeah. So symbiotic relationship basically is a mutually beneficial symbiotic relationship. Okay, it's when two organisms depend on each other and both organisms benefit, just like the coral. Okay, the coral will provide algae with shelter, and the algae gives coral with some colors. Okay, so it goes same to the human being. So the mother provides the perfect food, which is a breast milk for the baby, and in return, feeding helps contract the mother's uterus. Okay, so that's why this is the time that the baby starts to adjust to living outside the womb. Yeah, because they have been staying in the womb for 9 months and it's so dark, and uh, and when they are born, everything needs to be readjusted. Okay, so in this period, it's very important that the parents need to give enough security and sense of security to children. So when people ask and challenge us that, saying that, oh, if your child cries, you carry, it's become a bad habit, and you are trying to manage the kids. But to us, it's different because we know that it's symbiotic period and they need a lot of sense of security, right? Okay, and let me share another slide with you. Okay. Mm. Right. So I'm not so sure. Okay. So one more thing that what I can see in lots of parents is they are trying to give in their best. Okay, especially the mom. Because of the child, they are trying to spend a lot of the in the child. Okay, so what I can see here is the children will mother will spend, like, for infant care center is easily go up to 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Okay, and twice and books every month you get like for about 200 to 1,000 ringgit for every checkout of your cart. Okay, and toys and books, lots of things that you need to buy for your kids. Okay, but out of all these materials and toys, what I would always tell parents that the things that you shouldn't miss is a bookshelf and nice books. Again, for younger children, you need to really pick the book nicely. You need to have like soft book or those board books so that they don't really tear easily. Okay, when they grow older, like 1 year, 1.5 year old, you can start to give them some maybe like the book with hardcover. Okay, so books is something that you never regret to invest. Okay, but like theater or some other toys, they will outgrow it very fast. Okay, and something is more priceless, okay, and more precious, which is the first thing, the time you spend with the child each day. Okay, so I'm not so sure how much time you spend with the child every day, but to me it's like you can spend your child like every 30 minutes, 1 hour each day. Okay, that's more than enough. But just make sure the time you spend with them is quality enough. Okay, quality, which means that you are not texting, you are not replying your clients, or you're not replying to your superior. Okay, but really talk to your kids. Yeah. So when it comes to talking, I don't encourage baby talk, which is nene, oink oink, or good good, or shishi. This kind of thing I don't really encourage because to me, the the babies understand what we are talking about. Okay, so instead of baby talk, baby language, I will recommend you to use sign language. Okay, sign language is the one language that we will communicate with our babies here. Okay, so yeah. So another thing is bonding with both parents and the child. Okay, because sometimes I can see society nowadays, maybe the father is still the only breadwinner. Okay, so I will always encourage, if possible, both parents to spend time together with the child. Okay, because mother and father are equally important to the child's growth. Okay, family is served as a shelter to the child. Whenever they have any difficulties, they will come back to the home. All right, so bonding is very important for every family. And the third thing would be grow together. Okay, so I don't panic. Okay, especially for someone, don't panic that you are not doing the best, you are not giving the best to your child. But you need to grow from time to time. Okay, you need to know like what is the things that you do the right thing at the right moment, I would say. Okay, so including grandparents, if you are staying with your mother-in-law, father-in-law, okay, it's time to communicate with each other. Okay, so both husband and wife, grandparents must have the mutual agreement on the mutual ground to stand when it comes to educating or raising up the kids. Okay, because I can see a lot of disagreement or quarrels come from the different concept of raising our kids in the family. Okay, and that is not so healthy to the child. That's because for children as young as 0 to 3 years old, they absorb everything, literally everything. Okay, including our emotions. Okay, so if let's say you have some disagreement among your family members, you're not gonna treat your child well, because when you see your child, okay, if you let's say for example, if you argue with a husband, when I look at my son look exactly like his father, how can I be nice to my son? See, so yeah, communication is very important, especially after you have the baby, right? Okay. So, and one more thing is, I would say that, I always think that, when can I expose my son to iPad? I'm so sorry, even though I know I have studied a lot, but I feel like, wondering when can I introduce iPad to my son? The main reason is because I don't want him to like, um, stay in his own role, okay? And I want him to expose to things that other children have too, okay? But the thing is, if you believe in those research, if you believe in the study, okay, you shouldn't expose your child to screen time, okay? Because they're gonna be very passive. I can assure you on this, okay? They are going to be passive learner and they are not, moving around. They are not so active after you expose the screen time for them. So what you need to expect if let's say you do, expose your child to screen time, they are going to play the ashes, okay, when they go to granny house, right? And they're gonna climb on the sink to play with water and wet the whole body when you just left them for 1 minute there, okay? And then maybe they would just open the milk powder tin the can and they will scoop and eat the powder, So yeah, a lot of mess you need to expect if you don't expose screen time. That's why, I know that it's very easy for parents to, give the iPad or show them some video. It's really make our life easier. So it's a choice for every parent, okay? But I would say that if you want to expose your child screen time, please, expose them after 2 years old, okay? Try to eliminate all the devices or gadgets when the child is just below 2 years old. Okay, it's really not so nice and not healthy for the child's growth and development. Okay, so and there is another saying that okay, so let me go back to this slide. So when you are looking at this picture, you think that oh, crazy man, what this child is doing, and yeah, I don't know how much time I need to clean up the place. And after you clean up, you will go back to the same spot and do the same space again. Okay, over and over and never stop. Okay, let's go back to what we have said just now. Okay, that's because there's an inner drive, an inner teacher in the child. Okay, the inner drive told him that you need to go to the spot, and expose the thing. Okay, let's throw all the ashes there. Let's open the can and eat the powder in there. Okay, that is, it's the inner drive to drive them to go there. So you can't blame them. Okay, that's why, yeah. Um, I would tell parents, if let's say you don't want your child to get something, please keep them. Okay, keep out of the reach of the kids, so they are not going to reach the things that you want them to touch. Yeah, and yeah, so I would say that after cleaning up so much mess, especially when he started to wean off, okay, started to BLW, yeah, I would say it's so burden, okay, and don't worry about the time you spend with the child, okay, because every parenting has an expiry date. Okay, the effort we put in a child before age of 6 is going to determine how our child become in the next 60 years. All right. So yeah, I hope that our parents will bear with it. Yeah, and please husband and wife need to support each other. Okay, and let's go through this. Okay, once the child can start to talk when they reach the age of 2 or 3, okay, lots of things is gonna be easier because they can understand, and we can negotiate from there. Yeah, yeah, right. So let me see, and one more thing, that this is a quote. It's not from Mario Montessori, but just one of my parents. Okay, because I gave a lot of parenting talk among our students here. So one of the parents told me that I asked her that, how can you be so chill, and your relationship with your husband is so great. Okay, and the child goes happily, come in school happily, and work happily. So I asked her, what is the secret? She just told me she is a mother of 2, and what she told me was just, if you can't be perfect, just be happy. Okay, so this is what I want to share with every one of you here today. Okay, we can't, even though I went in so a lot of research, I study and a lot of theories, but then I need to tell myself I can't be perfect. Okay, I can't be perfect. No one is perfect. So if I can't be perfect, just be happy. Okay, something that you don't need to hold it so rigid. Something you need to let go a little bit. Mm. So, and this will make your life easier. Okay, and then all right. So Aisha, are you here? Okay. Oh, you have muted yourself. You have muted yourself.
I think yes, I'm here listening throughout. I think if you can measure my smile while you were on screen just now, you can like bigger than the screen. Yeah, I just reminded of a lot of the things that I went through, and I also observe, in everyday life, not necessarily at my school only. So many things that you said. I think if Dr. Maria Montessori was alive or she was looking down on us, she would be also smiling away, because you said so many things that they said in her books, in her trainings, in her teachings, and all that. So I think we're having a bit of some challenge with the internet here, and we haven't received questions, but I have got some questions from my WhatsApp to ask
Right.
you.
Sure.
Okay, so but before that, I'd just like to touch a little bit more, because I think some of the people who are watching might be new parents, and words like symbiosis and all that they might not come across, and everything. So am I right in saying that the symbiosis is the period after birth, right? The part you're talking about, the bonding, the balance that happens immediately after birth, and it's important for all the children, not just your firstborn. Can you just reiterate on that, repeat that a little bit, please, for us?
Sure. Okay, so the symbiotic relationship basically is
Are you there,
from
Celeste?
yeah.
Oh no.
So basically, it's
I hope you will
can you
catch
hear
up.
me? Okay, I'll try to carry
Dear.
on.
I'm not sure if others can
Okay.
hear or anything. We've
Okay. Let me check. Yeah, I guess I can see because I can see myself in the YouTube live. So I would just carry on. So symbiotic relationship basically is the first 6 to 8 weeks. Okay, once the child is born. Yeah, and basically, oh, Aisha is back.
So thank goodness it only started after you finished your
Yeah.
presentation.
Okay.
So I think some other energies out there. I always think that we want to do something really good, really right all the time with Montessori. There's always some challenge. Okay, so this is another one. We haven't had a talk for a while now, since the beginning of June, I think. So it's the end of June now. So it's probably us being reminded to keep things regular. You know, if it keeps being regular,
Yeah.
hopefully things will be okay. So I hope you heard the part about I said about
Yes,
symbiosis.
I did.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-mm.
Could you just
Okay.
touch a little bit on that on English, in English? You know what I'm saying, in normal layman's terms. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, symbiotic relationship is the first 6 to 8 weeks. Okay, once the child is born, and basically during that period, the child is trying to adjust their life out of the womb. Okay, so that needs a lot of sense of security, and yeah, there, that's and also the thing is because this is a relationship mutually beneficial to each other, so it's also the time for parents to adjust their life after having a baby. Yeah, so that's why during this period both parties have to work together, okay, to get the the what is it called, the life, okay, to make their lives easier. Okay, during the first 6 to 8 weeks you need to take good care, and what I meant take good care is you try not to hands off to other people. Of course I know that nowadays people will go to confinement center. Okay, there are
Yes. Yes.
nurses or nannies taking care of
Yes.
babies,
Yes.
but yeah, I know the rest is very important for a mom, but the thing is you also need to have bonding time with the baby. Okay, because you are trying to adjust with them. That's why if let's say a child just give the baby to the nanny or the nurse in the confinement center, after they check out confinement center, they're gonna be a very a disaster for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
yeah, so
Bit
that's
of a
why I
shock,
say
right?
yes, it's very short. And of course after this symbiotic relation the symbiotic period, okay, the child will grow very differently. Okay, because they will start to look around, because in this symbiotic period they, even though they can't see so precisely like adult, but they can feel it, they can smell it. Okay, so that's
Yes.
why what we give the child is very important. We need to be soft. And even though, like, in Montessori classroom, even though we want to change diaper, we need to ask permission. you know, so we
Yes.
need to respect
Yes.
them. We need
Out
to
of
respect the
respect.
child. Yeah, I'll respect,
Yes.
So I want to, change diaper. I'll ask, can I change your diaper? Okay, now it's time. Okay, I'm going to touch your leg. I'm going to touch your head. I'm going to touch anything. So you need to tell them, you need to respect them, because even though they are baby, but yeah, this
Yes.
kind of respect, yeah, we need to start from beginning. Mm.
Right. So that
Mm.
that relationship, that what the babies go through, it's so intense and so sensitive. It's almost fragile, right? And surely it
Yes,
must be
right.
something that any mother, any parent would be so excited about, because it won't happen again after that, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Mm.
yeah. So I hope we from this we have learned that the symbiotic period, which is you were saying from how many weeks? You were saying the
It's just the
symbiotic period,
first 6 to 8 weeks of one's
first
life.
6 to 8
Of the
weeks of the life.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So you need to
Mm.
adjust. I obviously so.
That's
There's a baby in the house, right? So it's not a matter of just getting ready the right crib, the right decorations, but you are part of it. You are part of the environment, right?
that's right.
I also like to pick on what you talked about, books. Okay, books, and you're saying
Mm.
have books all the time. You'll never regret it and everything. And I wonder how you came to that conclusion, because I remember all this. Oh, my son is like 20 plus, what 20 years ago. I remember when he would, he my firstborn, he would, like, when I come out of the bathroom or come out of my office, come home or come out from somewhere where he wasn't, he would look up at me and like, okay, what's next? What's next, right? Sort of thing. And the first question I always asked, the first thing I always said to my son was, "Where's your book? Where's your book?" It's like, you must have a book. You must, where's your book? That's the first thing I would say. So he got used to it. A very clever boy. After a while, he will have a book with him. And then he will say to me, Mommy, can we play? Mommy, what can we do now? Still looking to me for resources. So I would take his book and all that. But it's good to be very close to books, even though they can't read, so to speak, right? They can look at pictures and everything, even at a very young age. So yes, I hope, that is something that we can take away with us as well. Okay.
Yeah, and on
Right.
top of that,
Yes.
sorry, Aisha, I would like to add on is because parents or grandparents will always want to stop the children from touching this and that. Okay, so that's why the inner drive, the inner self is getting lower and lower. So this is what I will encourage the parents, especially for children, because their development is having tremendous changes in the first year of life. From a baby who can just lying down, but in 1 year time they can just stand up and they can walk. Okay, so it's so much different. So what I will always tell parents is you need to observe. Observation is also a form of respect, because through observation you know how your child grow, and what is his development right now. If let's say he can already start crawling, okay, or start rolling over, you shouldn't put him on back anymore. Okay, you shouldn't put him on the the high back anymore, because there might be accidents happen. So if let's say you observe that, okay, you will put him lower on the floor. Okay, so if let's say the child start to crawl, okay, you need to start to put away things that like like grandparents, they will have like the socket or anything, you just cover up. Okay, and let's say something is dangerous, just move out of the reach of the child. Okay, get it out of the way. Let the child move freely in that environment. This is what we call a prepared environment for the younger kids. Yeah. And and one more thing is like even the clothing, what we observe is sometimes parents used to, especially girls, okay, the parents like to buy a lot of princess dress for them, but that is a hindrance for children to move around. Okay, so for us in baby classroom, we always tell parents just give cotton, cotton romper or cotton shirt for them. So and don't wear a lot of long pants, or cover up them with a socks or thick socks, because they always scared that they get cold. But the thing is, if let's say you put a lot of socks, or you wear long, they when they start to crawl, it's very slippery when they want to crawl. The knees, So sometimes when we observe this, we will tell the parents that you shouldn't do this. Yeah, you need to change. So this is what we say that parents, the bonding is very important. It's not that you only teach them. During bonding time, it's not that what you can teach your child, what you need to your child to learn from you, but then it's observation.
Yes. And a lot of what we can learn from them as well, right? By the observation. Yeah. I actually have a few more questions here. I mean, they're quite common questions, but I think it's worth repeating them. But you mentioned about how the importance of this bonding is between the mother and the father, because the child needs to feel the energy emanate from that merge. Again, also grandparents together, as well as grandparents and their parents, right? They need to be on the same page and all that. Now, I think a lot of questions will be, how can I talk or persuade my parents not to buy guns or not to buy devices? That one I think will be another workshop as it is. But I think if you'd like to say a comment on that, would be good.
All right.
How do you do it?
I guess I learned in a hard way. Okay. So to be honest, I mean, like the communication between me and my husband, it had been like not so smooth, and we had a lot of disagreements. But then, and I guess when if let's say husband and wife, you have this kind of problem, you need to seek some treatment from professionals, which is counseling. This is, I would encourage parents to go for counselor. All right. So you meet the counselor and you find out and try to communicate with each other. Okay. So this is the way that, because husband and wife, you're too close. You don't want to like ruin your relationship. You don't want to say something that, that will hurt the other half. So better to get someone to involve, which is counselor. Okay, and talk
Yes.
about it. But let's say,
Yes.
for me, how the way I talk to my mother-in-law or father-in-law. Okay, the first thing I think before I talk to my mother-in-law, I need my husband to stand on the same ground with me. So
Yeah.
this is very important. Okay, because
Yeah.
sometimes you are trying to communicate with your mother-in-law, but your husband doesn't support you. It's gonna be a very challenge part for you. Okay,
Yeah.
so once you get your husband's agreement, and he agrees with it, so then you can talk with your mother-in-law. And I learned this, which is called non-violence communication. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I learned this kind of things after I
No.
had baby. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're all caught up in our emotions and we're animated in movement. No, we're gonna do it this way, and the wrong message comes through and stuff. Yeah, I think we all mean well, right? And we all really want the best for
Yeah.
everyone. So it might come across
Yeah.
differently to others, and don't talk to me like that, or it's not perfect, but yeah, the most we can do is, the least we can do is to help everyone to be on the same page for the sake of the child. After a while, the baby will get a bit confused
Yeah.
and stuff, right? So that's, I think, an area that I'm glad that you brought up about the counselor. They can give good ideas if you've run out of
Yeah.
ideas. We're not
Yeah.
professional parents overnight, or human developmentalists. We try our best, but when it comes
Yeah.
to the crunch, I think it's great to be able to reach out and talk to each other,
Absolutely.
and typical relationships with in-laws or even your own parents and all that. It's good to be able
Yeah. Yeah.
to be on
Yeah.
the same page and establish common ground, right? Okay, I'm wary
Mm-mm.
of time, but I'll try and fit in at least one more question, which two, will have tried two. Okay. We'll see what we can do. What happens when the children have a baby or infant or even toddler, before 2 years old? They have their meltdowns. All right, they have their meltdowns. Okay, so for me,
Yeah.
my formula was that, okay, I already changed your diaper, you're clean, you smell nice, you already had your makan, you're eating, you're happy, and I think you've had enough sleep, so there can't possibly be any more problem. Why are you crying, right? So so there might be something. So what do you suggest for our parents to, okay, like SOP? Okay, first, what this, that. Have you got any suggestions apart from what I meant?
Yeah, I did have. I mean, like, I run this topic before because this is very common, especially children reach about
Yeah.
1.5 years old or 2 years old, they start to have meltdown, and the meltdown could be very massive. Yeah. I
Yes,
myself, I
and you
have
don't
been
know.
through this. Yeah, yes, you
Right.
out of nowhere, and you just can't stop him, and even though sometimes we know the reason, but this is my rules, my ground rules, that I also can't let you to break. Yeah, so that's why,
Yes, yes.
here comes the meltdown. Yeah, so what I would
Mm.
suggest parents is, if let's say your child is in this age, 0 to 3, okay, so
Yes.
don't, I mean, like, you don't try to talk so much with the kids. You don't try to explain what is the theory or what is the reason behind. They're not going to understand what you are talking about. Okay, so this is also one thing that I learned from the counselor. Okay, because my son had very massive meltdown, I think 1 month ago, and once the child started to meltdown, the meltdown will appear frequently. Maybe once a week, and after
Yes,
another week,
yes.
he will start to meltdown again. Okay, and what I would say is the children, if let's say you stand from the point that educators, okay, what Montessori has said, this is the time that the children start to explore themselves. They want to have greater autonomy. Okay, they want to know what they can do and what they can decide for themselves. Okay, they are trying. They're trying to see what is the boundaries, and they are trying to know that they try that whether I can get this if I cry. Okay, if I cry this loud, you don't give me. Okay, what if I cry even louder and I just lie down? Okay, what is going to happen? This is their inner drive. Like I say, inner drive. You don't understand
Really?
inner drive. You understand the children. Okay, but the thing is, we parents, adults, we can't handle that kind of emotions because we used to talk about the facts. We used to have a lot of theories to support us. Okay, so what I would say that if let's say your child is 0 to 3 years old, don't try anything with them. Okay, but what you need to do is you must let them to feel you are next to them. Okay, like for example, if let's say my child, he already everything is fine, all the physical needs already fulfilled. Okay, but I don't know what happened. Okay, so what I will need to do is I would just hold
repeat
him
that.
tight. Sorry.
Hold, right. Yeah. It was a bit jumpy just now. So you're saying that
Right.
the most important thing at that time is to just hold them, right?
Yes.
To hold them,
Okay.
no matter how they feel, angry, hungry, whatever they feel, just hold them. I've
Yes.
heard of this before as well. I can't remember whether I practiced it, but how lovely. Like, let's say you yourself going through the same thing, emotions, and you don't know what to do, don't know what's happening and whatever, and someone just holds you. I think that's just lovely, right? Isn't it?
Yes, that's love. This is what called
Yeah,
love.
that's
Okay,
love.
I mean,
Yes,
like you,
yes, yeah.
that's love. You don't say that I use love language with my kids. Okay, I don't punish the kids. I don't cane my kids. I don't a lot of things. But the thing is, when the child's not down, you don't even you can't even care them. You can't even hug them. You can't even hold them. Then what is love about? See, yeah. So that this is what unconditional love is about. Yeah. So because what my son was doing, he hit himself and hit to the wall. Okay, and this was quite shocking to me. And what counselor has suggested is just hold him tight. Okay. Yeah.
I think
To make him feel
you've really explained it so well. Yeah. Oh dear.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So I guess a lot
I think
of
it's a bit jumpy now at the moment, Celeste. I think
right.
the internet is being optimized and all, but we certainly heard from your emotions, from your gesticulations, and I think it's the message is we just need to love our children. That's what they need us most of all. Thank you so much, Celeste. I'm really toying whether to give the last question with this internet going on and all that, but you mentioned, don't give devices to our children until after 3 years old, right? And I think that's a real challenge, right? That's a real challenge for us all. But I think we need to be able to understand how much more there is that we can give our children apart from devices. It just happens to be the sign of times. But Maria Montessori did say, look at the child. Look to the child, and is a child of today, right? So the devices is a bit of a challenge, but perhaps if it's your good advice that we should try and avoid it until after 3 years old, I will take your word for it, because at my time we didn't have devices and I'm seeing a lot of that around, and as a result, I dare say that children are talking less, right? Interacting less, so that can't be good. So would you like to wrap up with that, another point on that?
Yeah, sure. This is my experience and also what I observed on my friend's child. Okay, so we went out for a trip. We went on a trip, and the thing is, the child is about 3 years old. Okay, and she cried out loud, and she begged her mom to give her the device, simply because that the mom has reached an agreement with her that every day you can have one, okay, but it's just about half an hour. But the thing is, to me, like I don't criticize on other people's parenting style, but the thing is, to me, it's like maybe that is the best that she can do with the child. Okay, but to me, I don't want my child to get addicted. But to be honest, the gadgets and devices can help us so much. They can make our life so easy. I can just to stop him crying, I can just play the truck video to him, and she can just keep quiet and observe. Just a garbage truck is moving around. Nothing, no speech there, but he can just observe the garbage bin going round and round for 30 minutes. Okay, how amazing the gadgets is. Oh, I was like, but the thing is, I because I try to expose my child And what I observed, because I want to observe, okay, because first, and I mean, first few times I exposed to him, he refused. He doesn't want to watch. Okay, I was like, wow, so great Montessori education. You know, the child doesn't want to watch the gadgets at all. But I'm wrong. You know, they somehow they can't run out of it. Okay, so when
Yeah.
I choose the topic he interested, like I say the truck, he can
Yes.
just sit there. Okay, he can just sit there. And when he wake up, okay, when he woke up, he would just go to my office, there's another room, and point at his laptop, and he wants to watch. That is the sign that I know I need to stop. Okay, because yeah. I mean, to be honest, I also try to
Yes.
challenge, and I went to observe my son.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and after
Yeah.
that, when I wanted to stop, it's a challenge to me because he
Right.
already he know when, because children sensitive
Yes.
order, right? So they know their
Yes.
routine. But the thing is, when I stopped the routine,
Yeah.
he started to be very cranky. But
Yeah.
I insisted. Okay, I gave
Right.
him more choice, flashcards or some material. Then
Yes.
he slowly
Yes.
to stop and withdraw himself from the devices. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I
Right.
would
Yeah.
tell the parents is you must really insist and trust your instinct as a mom. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Instinct, isn't it? That's the best. Everything
Yeah.
in moderation. Too much of a good thing can't be so good, right? So
That's right.
follow that
Absolutely.
instinct. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
gosh, honestly, thank you so much, Celeste. You've given us and reminded us of so many great points with our parenting journey, grandparenting
Mm.
journey, and just generally, even ourselves. We as parents, as teachers, we ourselves will transform as we go through the journey with our children and those
Right.
we look for, right?
Right.
So it's been a great pleasure to hear a lot of the gems that you shared with us and your own personal journey. It must be wonderful, and I wish you the wish you more wonderful years with
Yeah.
developing with your child. And we hope this is not the last we'll hear from you. We hope we'll hear some more from you
Sure.
another time. And look
Yeah.
forward to seeing more things coming up from your postings in your preschool and your stories generally. Thank you to everybody who's joined us this afternoon. Please
Yeah.
excuse us
Thank you,
with
everyone.
all the internet hiccups, etc. Hopefully next time we'll be able to
Uh-uh.
spoke too soon. I think did I speak too soon? Okay, hopefully next time it will be better. And maybe
Yeah.
with that we'll sign off. Please do keep carry on with our looking out for our talks on our YouTube live, and feel free to continue the conversation and the chat. Okay, I'm Aisha from
Yeah.
Montessori Association Malaysia, and we'll say goodbyes to Celeste and hope to see you again soon. And thank you to everyone again. Take care, everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
Bye.
Aisha. Hope to see you soon. Bye.
Are you there? Hang on.